All right, let's give an update. Apparently, we're going to be talking about my case, my custody case this morning, um, because they don't really seem to want me to talk about my case. In fact, yesterday when I appeared at Northampton, Hampshire probate in Massachusetts, the judge's biggest concern at the end of the hearing. Now, this is a custody hearing. I have not seen my son, who is just over 3 years old in this year of 2026. Have not seen him since December 29th, 2025. But at the end of the hearing, the judge's biggest concern, right, after everything we talked about, were my emails to the defense attorney, because I called her a bunch of names. That's what the judge appeared to be. The judge's biggest concern was that I sent nasty messages to the opposing attorney. That's the biggest concern. Not the fact that a minor's being separated and isolated from his biological family. That's totally normal. But me sending two nasty emails after over a year of litigation and being alienated from my son with an inappropriate visitation schedule, that's the judge's concern. So that's hilarious. But the other thing that these humans, people, like whatever you want to call them, the thing that they're overlooking is that I didn't misspeak. I've spoken to at least, this is conservative, at least half a dozen of Claudette Jean Girard's peers and colleagues who are attorneys, at least. And none of them really have anything positive to say about Claudette. The nicest thing that I heard someone say about Claudette is that she's really busy. People bit their tongues. People called her a pain in the ass. Her colleagues, I don't know if they're friends, but her colleagues have this opinion of her too. And so, yeah, maybe my words were a little bit harsher, but this is just a general consensus. Like, I'm sorry if you have trouble putting yourself under the microscope and you can't be honest with yourself and who you are and what you represent. Because, like, the judge's argument was, oh, the defense attorney is just doing their job. Okay, well, your job is to apply the law evenly and unbiasedly, and you haven't done that. So I think maybe your job, if she's not doing her job, because I've been alienated from my son, this is inappropriate. No one's addressing that. No one wants to talk about it. They want to turn the focus back on me and say that I have mental health issues, but I've been talking and speaking out since 2015 very loudly. This isn't new. I didn't just start speaking about the injustice after my son was born. Yes, this is an injustice too, and no, I'm not shutting up about this either. But they tried to make the case in court yesterday that in the last few months, based on my YouTube videos, my mental health is disintegrating and this and that. You're gonna base that off of some YouTube videos? Has anyone actually, like, instead of criticizing me and calling me names, right? Because they called me names in court at all the other previous appearances, saying that I'm unhinged, I have no self-control, they called me hostile, this and that. So you can call me all these names, but is anyone actually looking into what I'm talking about? That it's psychologically abusive to a child to keep them away from their families? Is anyone been looking into what I've been talking about for the last 10 years with regards to electromagnetic frequency weapons, right? The human aura, our frequency, the natural energy that we emit, and how that's being interfered with the technology that's out there, that's been out there, that you paid for with your tax dollars? Nope. Just want to call me names. Just want to say that I'm crazy or I'm a danger or this and that. Tell me, whose place of employment have I showed up at? Right? Whose residence have I showed up at? Have I sent a hit squad to, like, take care of this, street justice? No. I've sent a few emails. I've been very clear that I'm going to fight this legally. I've mentioned, and that, the defense is so stupid. They, like, you want to look at some YouTube videos without actually digging into the facts. You're just listening to me talk without referencing the documents. Like, use your fucking head, man. She tried to bring up she said that I have legal troubles because of the Bic Lighter video. You know, it's like, well, that case has already been nollied. And if you took the time to look at the police report, you can clearly see that the citing officer wrote down in black and white the crime that the other person committed prior to me throwing the lighter. So it's really funny how, you know, the judge wants to make the focus about the defense's attorney's feelings. And then the other part of the focus is just to make me look like a piece of shit so that I can't see my kid. It's disgusting. And this isn't just me. This is why there is a bill out of New Hampshire to abolish the family courts. I imagine this is why legislation, I think, just got passed in the state of Connecticut to limit the, and I haven't looked into this one yet, but to limit the family and probate courts power. And this is, you know, again, talk about general consensus. Like, everyone thinks Claudette's a pain in the ass or whatever, you know, whatever phrase you want to use. Like, everyone in the country knows that the family courts are corrupt as shit and dividing families.